Hi, I'm George Levy. Today I have the opportunity to speak with Dennis Silvestrone, Director of Continuing Studies in Corporate Training at Okanagan College. Dennis, it's a pleasure speaking with you.
Well, good morning, George, and it's a pleasure to be part of your podcast. Really appreciate the time.
I'm very, very grateful to have this opportunity. I'm actually really fascinated by the things that Okanagan College is doing, specifically because you've taken on blockchain education. My objective in this interview with you is just to understand and just prod a little bit into your mind as to actually this whole initiative that you're doing with blockchain education. So let me start with the easiest part. Why blockchain?
Well, I mean, if you look at the type of institution Okanagan College is, part of our responsibility or role is to provide new emerging education for the parts of British Columbia, which is on the west coast of Canada, that we serve. So we're always on the lookout for what's emerging that might be of interest or value to the citizens in our communities. So one of the areas that we've identified through the literature that we're tracking, and just what we're hearing through the press, is that blockchain is an emerging technology and has the potential to have some far-reaching implications, we'll say, for a number of different sectors. So for us, we see the provision of it as part of our role, and see it as an area that we've got people interested in finding out more about it and how it might apply to or be incorporated into the work that they're doing. So really to kind of expose the information around it and let people be able to access it.
It's very, very interesting that you're actually delivering this at Okanagan College. You actually handle just continuing studies. Could you tell me more about the program and,
Sure.
in general, what you're doing in that whole aspect?
Okay. So our primary focus is to work with adults who are out in the workforce or who are interested in reentering the workforce, to provide them with skills and knowledge that are relevant to what employers are looking for at this point in time. So we provide a variety of different kinds of courses and programs in that regard. Some of them are very occupational, right? They're skills for the workplace. Some of them are broader in terms of, skills that might underpin and work in a number of areas and kind of in life in general. And we provide a lot of general interest courses too for people that just want to pursue topics that kind of expand their horizon and understanding of things that are going on in the world. And for us, blockchain kind of lays right across all of those, right? Because it's got potential vocational benefit, but it's also just a topic that's of interest to a lot of people. For us in Canada, a parallel would be programming we're doing right now around cannabis. So cannabis recently legalized in Canada. And so there's a lot of questions around it in terms of its health, medicinal value, in terms of the implications around the legalization. And there's also a lot of interest in emerging opportunities for employment along the value chain for cannabis production and sales. So that's another area that we've started programming in over the past year. Sort of similar set of considerations for that.
That seems very, very innovative. You're forward-looking in a lot of different areas. Now, this blockchain program that you're actually doing this along with blocksEDU, which brings me to a question. Where does online education fit into this? Why online?
Well, for us, a number of the courses and programs that we've developed in the past couple of years have been online. So for a lot of the people that we are providing education to, working adults, busy schedules, and so not always able to get to a campus at a particular time in the week. So for at least some learners to have the flexibility to be able to open up the course when they have a few minutes when they're at home and be able to then go through the material and do the work. It's just it makes programs like this a lot more accessible.
Right.
And our thought was also with this one, it's got an appeal that's a bit broader, and so that we might be able to serve some of the learners kind of in the more outlying, more distant reaches across the province, especially up into the north.
And that makes perfect sense to me now that you position it like that. It might not be convenient for somebody to be able to go to a campus on a regular basis. And people have different schedules. Some people work days, some people work nights, some people work weekends. So the answer is you're able to do that through the online. Excellent. That's good to know you have that experience. Now, let me ask you, Dennis, where do you see forward-looking the whole space of emerging technologies? Because you're actually taking a bold step moving forward in blockchain, but where do you see the entire space of emerging technologies and emerging technologies education looking forward?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think what we're seeing is, so for a number of years, if we're thinking about technology in the educational sphere, we lived in kind of a binary world. So we had the face-to-face courses that are offered on our campuses, and then we had the fully online courses or programs that were offered on the web. What you're seeing now is a really interesting melding of the different modalities, right? So you've got, some courses
like a hybrid mixing.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so you got some courses that use a little bit of technology but are largely place-based, and you've got other courses that are largely online with small face-to-face components. I mean, I think there will always be a place for face-to-face because in different ways people want to engage with others, and so there's still demand for that. But I mean that richness of the blend is considerable. I mean, if we're looking further out, I think we're looking at incorporating various immersive technologies, right? So at this point in time, and especially a small institution like this, we're not seeing a lot of virtual or augmented reality, but that's not far away. And if you're thinking more broadly within the institutions, then you're going to start to see AI start to emerge in terms of supporting services and some of the programming that we're doing to extend or enhance the work of our faculty. So I'd say in terms of those newer technologies, they're right on the brink for us, and in some of the bigger institutions, you're already seeing them starting to emerge. So those would be the main ones that I would be identifying right now.
That's excellent, Dennis. Let me ask you a question specifically. If people want to find out more about Okanagan College, how can they actually learn more about Okanagan College?
Quite simply, they can just come to our website, so www.okanagan.bcca, and that'll bring them right to us. And all the information about the blockchain certificate is available there. They just type in blockchain and they'll go right to it. But they can also see all the other programming that's available.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Dennis. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, and I wish you and all your students much success.
Thanks a lot, George. It was good to join you this morning.
I hope you enjoyed this video and that you learned something in the process. I bring you brand new videos every single week, so make sure to subscribe to this channel. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I would love to hear from you. Until next time, I'm George Levy. We're changing the world one blockchain at a time. See you next time.